Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? Hope you all will be fine and safe good. As you know that in first video I have read and explained you the unit 1 powder and arms half, and now today I'm going to continue it. So let's come to the topic, the powder and arms unit 1. It does not much matter who it was, replied the doctor, and I could see that neither he nor the captain paid much regard to Mr. Trelawney's protestations. Neither did I, to be sure. He was so loose a talker. Yet, in this case, I believe he was really right, and that nobody had told the situation of the island. Well, gentlemen, continued the captain, I don't know who has this map, but I make it a point it shall be kept secret even from me and Mr. Arrow. Otherwise, I would ask you to let me resign. So, in this paragraph is saying the arrangement was unlikely by the captain because he doesn't want to go with the crew of Mr. Trelawney. He had been originally meant that the captain, Mr. Arrow, Hunter, the doctor, and the squire were to occupy these 6 berths, and now he reduced and he were to get 2 of them, and Mr. Arrow, the captain, were to sleep on deck in the companion, which had been enlarged to each side. But when they came on deck, he had begun already to take out the arms and powder. So, while the captain and Mr. Arrow stood by superintendent, and they took his contrary to all the notions. He believed that he declared his thinking to conduct unmanly and unsailorly, downright un-English. So now, students, continue it. I see that, said the doctor, you wish us to keep this matter dark and to make our garrison of the stern part of the ship men with my friends, own people, and provided with all the arms and powder on board. In other words, you fear a mutiny. Sir, said Captain Smollett, with no intention to take offence, I deny your right to put words into my mouth. No captain, sir, would be justified in going to sea at all if he had ground enough to see that. As for Mr. Arrow, I believe him thoroughly honest. Some of the men are the same. All may be before what I know, but I am responsible for the ship safety and the life of every man. Jack, aboard of her. I see things going as I think not quite right, and I ask you to take certain precautions or let me resign my berth, and that's all. Captain Smollett began the doctor with a smile. Did ever you hear the fable of the mountain and the mouse? You will excuse me, I dare my say, but you remind me of that fable. When you came in here, I'll stake my way. You meant more than this? Doctor said, the captain, you are smart. When I came in here, I mean to get discharged. I had no thought that Mr. Trelawney would hear a word. So, in this paragraph, Dr. Trelawney said he doesn't much matter, and he could see neither he or not captain how much he paid regard to Mr. Trelawney's protestations. And he was thinking that he is a loser talker. And in this case, he believed nobody hold the situation on the island. But he has to keep the map and secret from Mr. Arrow and me. Otherwise, he should be resigned. But they think that they are their friends of own people who provided the arms and powder on the board, and they have the fear of the friendship. Maybe that will be loose or not. So they are no more, and they cried to square. But the captain said he'll find, because it is the duty of his, and he will do that sincerely. So students, let's move on other reading. No more I would cried the squire, had Livesey not been here. I should have seen you to the Jewess. As it is, I have had you, I will do as you desire. But I think the worse of you. That's as you please, sir, said the captain. You will find I do my duty. And with that, he took his leave. Trelawney, said the doctor, contrary to all my notions, I believe you have managed to get two honest men on board with you, that man and John Silver. So, in this, students, the Captain Smollett, who has no intention to take offense, and he denied his right to put words into his mouth. But Sir would be justified in going to see at all if he had ground enough. And he see things going as he think, not quite right. But he asks you to take certain precautions or let him know his birth. But the Captain Smollett said and smiled to the doctor, "Did ever he hear the fable of the mountain and the mouse?" Doctor said, "You are smart." He said he meant to discharge, and he had no thought that Mr. Trelawney would be here a word. And he talked to Mr. John Silver. "Silver, if you like," cried the squire, "but as for that intolerable humbug, I declared his conduct unmanly, uncivil, and downright un-English." "Well," says the doctor, "we shall see." When we came on deck, the men had begun already to take out the arms and powder, yo-yoing at their work, while the captain and Mr. Arrow stood by superintending. The new arrangement was quite to my liking. The whole schooner had been overhauled, 6 berths had been made astern, out of what he had been the after part of the main hold, and this set of cabins was only joined to the galley and forecastle by a small passage on the port side. It had been originally meant that the Captain, Mr. Arrow Hunter, Joyce, the doctor, and the squire were to occupy these 6 berths. Now Redruth and I were to get 2 of them, and Mr. Arrow and the captain were to sleep on deck in the companion, which had been enlarged on each side. So he said, Livesey not being here, and he should be dressed, and he has a desire to think of wars. And he was pleased, sir, it is said by the captain, and he said he will find, because it is his duty. So Trelawney said to the doctor, it was all his notions and belief to manage 2 honest people on the board. That was that man and Mr. John Silver. So he said to Squire that intolerable humbug, but Squire cried, Silver, because he does not like the silver. So that's why he was shocking, and he thinks his conduct unmanly, uncivil, and downright. So he said to the doctor, he will see what happened. And he was keeping the matter in the dark and make a garrison of the stern part of the ship. He was made with my friend's own people and provided with all the arms and powder. Till you might almost have called it a roundhouse, very low it was still, of course, but there was room to swing 2 hammocks, and even the mate seemed pleased with the arrangement. Even he perhaps had been doubtful as to the crew, but that is only guess, for you shall have We had not long the benefit of his opinion. We were all hard at work changing the powder and the berth when the last one or two, and Long John along with them, came off in a shore boat. The cook came up the side like a monkey for cleverness, and as soon as he saw what was doing, so mates, says he, "What's this?" "We are changing of the powder," Jack answered. "One, why by the powders?" cried Long John. "If we do, we will miss the morning tide." "My order," said the captain shortly. "You may go below, my men. Hens will want supper." "Aye, sir," answered the cook, and touching his forelock, he disappeared at once in the direction of his galley. "That's a good man, Captain," said the doctor. So, in this paragraph, students, they were hungry and they were talking about the food, but in the captain said he has to take the supper and cook should be prepared the supper and food of the whole crew. And they were shifting the powder in one, but they were already fear that what they are doing, that is right or wrong, and they should or not. But the Captain Smollett, who was following their crew, that they were shifting the powder in one. So he said to ship boy and said, "Go and cook some food and get for all of you." So they were really hungry, and the cook went to the kitchen and make a food and prepared supper for all the crew. "Very likely, sir," replied Captain Smollett. "Easy with that man, easy." He ran on to the fellows who were shifting the powder, and then suddenly observing me examine the civil, we carried amidship a long brass knife. "Here, you ship's boy," he cried out, "that off with you to the cook and get some work." And then as I was hurrying off, I heard him say quite loudly to the doctor, "I'll have no favorites on my ship." So in this ship, Dr. Smalley said he has no favorites and he is not going to give his favoritism to anyone because all the crew is going to complete their task properly. So he credit and examine all the men in the ship. "I assure you, I was quite of the square way of thinking, and I hated the captain deeply." So the captain was totally assured that about the work of the crew, of the boys and what they were doing, and he believes that they are honest men. And Legacy not be there to mediate, and if he thinks that he will be displeased, and he will suggest to Dr. and Trelawney too. But Captain said to the narrator that they are Hawkins, and they know their characters also. So maybe they are doing good, and we have to agree with them. So students, I have explained you this unit completely. Now I'll show you the work of this unit in your group by giving you a pic. So till then, Allah Hafiz, bye, take care.